field. How are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and throughout the year? When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome to another episode, another week of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. I'm one of your hosts, SC Raiders Talk, aka your boy Eric. And on this side, my brother, man, home of the congregation and the Brown Crackers, man. The other half of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, my brother RaiderTwuan in the building. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, what's good? Y'all know what it is. 2-for-1 Nation podcast. Two brothers for one nation. And y'all know that's the Raider Nation. Shout out and blessings to everybody out there. Shout out to the congregation. And I can't forget the wonderful and the best mods in the YouTube game. They are my mods, but they are also called the Deacons. So shout out to the Deacons, a new name for them. And I'm excited about this Raider Nation. Let's get it, man.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we're going to talk about everything from the preview of Sunday's game to the recap of Sunday's game, past Sunday's game. A really good result, actually. And we're going to talk about all those things, man. But before we get into that, man, shout out to everybody, man. Blessings to you guys and your families. Hopefully you guys having a beautiful week. And hopefully you guys are ready for some Raider Sunday, you feel me? Let me see who's up in here, man. Rambo Adventure, salute like always. Gord Peterson in the building. Cool Kev, Pharaoh NFL, man. My brother was good. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to SoCal Sal. Salute Daniel Berry in the building. Good to see everybody coming on in, man. I appreciate everybody coming on in. And of course, if you guys haven't yet, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And let's just get it started. How you feeling in general, Twuan? How you feeling this week, man? How you feeling?
Man, you know what? Let me just say this. You know what I'm saying? Off the rip, I was wrong. Okay? I was wrong. Last week, I talked about the Raiders and the Ravens, and I predicted them to go 38-10. But and be honest with you, it was based off of what I saw in week one. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that the Ravens were coming off of a situation where they really are dire to break 1-1. You know what I'm saying? And most good teams and most playoff teams, you know, it's a situation where it's gonna be tough trying to catch them losing twice. Well, guess what? We scrapped and we fought. You know what I'm saying? Our guys went out there and handled business, and they got the dub, a huge dub. So, you know, and you know, it's interesting because I said it on, you know, the game plan, you know, get the popcorn out because we've seen this movie so many times. We lose to the teams that we're supposed to beat, and we win versus the teams that we're not supposed to win against. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. We were supposed to beat the Chargers and lose against the Ravens, and that swap. But hey, still 1-1. So we still got some hope, and we can still keep this thing alive early in this season.
Fact. Shout out to All Eyes on G in the building. Was good. Thomas Hernandez was good. Oh, hold on. I didn't have it ready, man. Shout out to Thomas in the building, man. Shout out to everybody coming in. All Eyes. Salute. SoCal Sal, man. Hopefully I didn't skip anybody. Salute. But of course, man, this game was a tale of two halves, man. First half looked like a continuation of the Charger game. Second half was a whole different team, especially in that late third and fourth quarter in general, man. And you got to give a lot of credit to, I think personally, to two people in particular, because I think that really changed a lot of momentum and that really changed the demeanor. Actually, three people that changed the mindset of everybody. Number one, Max Crosby grabbed Gardner Minshew by his collarbone, by his hands, told him, "Hey, I got you. You better get me, get us. We got you." That's some leadership right there, man. And you see Minshew's mentality kind of, come about, because it kind of looked like Minshew was already defeated. You could tell he was already defeated, but now he's there. Secondly, obviously, I want to give credit to Antonio Pierce in getting Luke Getsy's face. If you guys noticed, he got in Luke Getsy's face, told Luke Getsy, "Come on," tried to get him, you feel me, to start being better. You feel me? And I got to give Antonio Pierce credit on that. Besides that, there were still questionable things that fourth down going for it, but we did want him to be aggressive, so I don't fully blame him on that. I'm 50-50 on that one. But besides that, man, a heck of a mindset there. And then number three, Spillane. Without that interception, I think things would have not even swung even more. And Spillane got that beautiful interception. It showed why he's the best linebacker on this roster right now. And I just feel like, hey, we'll talk about the linebackers later, man. We'll talk about the linebackers later. But of course, shout out to Gam110 in the building. It was good to see you. Hope all as well, man. And good to see everybody coming on in. If you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. But man, let's start off, man. Talk to me about this defense. We'll leave the offense to the end. Talk to me about this defense, this Raiders defense, man. How did you feel about it, man?
Hey, there's some things definitely, that need some cleaning up, and those that really dive into the game, and I do. I watch the game 2 or 3 times, you know what I'm saying, to break it down. But those that dive into it like that, there's some things here and there defensively, you know what I'm saying, they need to clean up. But that defense is holding us down, you know what I'm saying, from start to finish. You know what I'm saying? Of course, that like last week, some people want to blame the defense or whatever, but how long were they on the field? You know what I'm saying? And like I said last week too, when you fight, you got 2 hands. Yeah. And if one hand is going, but the other hand ain't, hitting a little bit, that's what you get. That you're gonna get tired. So but I'm happy with what this defense is doing, where they're at mentally. You know what I'm saying? Jacorian Bennett has stepped his game up. You know what I'm saying? There's things that we saw, in preseason, but he really didn't show that to us on the field because of injury. But now he's starting to show us, and if I can really nitpick on Bennett, I don't want him to do, I don't want him to do pass breakup. You know what I'm saying? I really want him to pick some of those off. And I think that might be the next step for him. Yeah. He's in there making the play. And I love that he's raking it out, because there was a couple of times I'm like, oh, they caught that. And then all of a sudden he got, you know what I'm saying? He got a rake out of it. So, but I want him to get to that level of his game where he's just, hey, you throwing it my way, I'm gonna take that. You know what I'm saying? So that I like I said, I'm happy with what I saw. There's some things in it. There's a guy that I'm not happy with, and we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Shout out to Auntie Six in the building. What's good, Auntie Six? Good to see you. Hope all as well. Shout out to everybody coming on in, man. AP told Getsy he's an older Bo Hargrave on the sideline. Shout out to everybody coming on in. My 2 cents. Salute. Man, if you guys can't hit that like button, it'll really push out the live, man. I greatly appreciate it. But for me, the defense is the defense, man. What I've always known about this defense, a ferocious defense with a better defensive line. Sucks that we don't have Malcolm Kuntz out there, but Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby, man. Oh, man, Max Crosby, man. You see that he's more, how do I say it? He's getting more free. He's getting more loose, and he's starting to loosen up more because of people like Christian Wilkins and Jenkins and all these guys. Look at Wilkins' athleticism. I don't know if you guys seen when Max Crosby celebrated a sack, that boy Wilkins jumped over him. And by the way, Wilkins is not 100 pounds. He's not 50 pounds. Bro, he is a big fella, man. He's a big fella.
You know what? And with Max Crosby, Eric, it's gonna sound weird the way that I'm about to say it, but it kind of gives me the sense that like Max Crosby is kind of feeling like not on his own, but he's really filling out,
Yeah.
who he is, like as a player, what he can bring to the table. Yeah, we saw him succeed in years past, but I think it's different from just doing that, but then feeling comfortable with where you are. You know what I'm saying? We know that, he wants to get 100 sacks this season, but he's just starting to groom into, and that's not just him on the field, but like you talked about earlier, his leadership is grooming. I was one of the ones early in his years, saying he's not ready to be a leader. And he's groomed into being a vocal leader. There's certain guys that, they play, and that's their showing of leadership. But now he's really being vocal and also doing the physical aspect of it. So, hey, when you got someone comfortable with where they at, just look for the production. It's gonna be there, and the stats, this week showed that.
Shout out to Lakers in 5. Salute to you. But of course, just to top it off, that talk about the defense. I mean, Jacorian Bennett, man, I said it from the start. Jacorian Bennett was, we need him to take the next leap, and he's doing exactly that. I hope he continues to be consistent the way he has. Him and Jack Jones are doing a lot. You feel me? They're a good duo, man. And on top of that, the defensive line is helping a lot, like I said it was. And the defense looks alive, man, and I love to see that. Now, hey, moving on to arguably what won the game in the fourth quarter majority of the time. They stepped up the offense that was shaken up in the first half, and then in the second half they looked a lot better. They looked like they were more comfortable even without a run game, and it kind of shows you the firepower we have the receiving core. But Twuan, let me know, man, how did you feel about this Raiders offense from the first half to second half and then that fourth quarter?
I think I've said it plenty of times, but I just believe that, AP, yes, Coach AP, let me put respect on his name. Coach AP, he's a head coach, but he's also a Raider, and he knows that our motto is just win. Saying he realized that, hey, the run game, ain't there for various reasons, but hey, we got this passing game. And, if our running game ain't there, obviously you got to pass the ball. And who should we be really looking at to really spark that offense? The passing offense, Devontae Adams. And that's what we saw. Devontae Adams was a vital piece in really getting that, passing game going. When things weren't working out, and you could tell Minshew was trying to look for other options, but he knew, let me give it a DA and let me see what he can do with it, which opened up some other guys to shine. So, we might be in a situation at the moment. I know that we really want to run the ball, and that still needs to be fixed. But at this point, we might be in a situation where we pass to run. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was some of the things, even with our run game at that time when the pass game was popping. Our run game started opening up because they were looking for the pass because they were trying to figure out how to stop the pass. But then when you got, it opens it up. You can do both. Running can open up the pass, and then the pass can open up the run. And that might be where we're at. Is Minshew, hey, look, just try to put it in their area and allow these guys to, make it happen. Obviously, Devontae Adams with the casket lean, to catch the ball. Hey, look, just put it there. Put it somewhere in the area. And I believe in these wide receivers to get it, especially, we talk about DA, but I believe Jacoby Myers is the same type of guy.
Yeah.
If you throw it in his area, he's going to get it. So look, just do that. Let's move the chains that way. And hopefully at some point in the season, our running game gets it to where we can maybe revert back to running the ball, because that's is an important part of the game, especially at the end of the season when we might be in some snow situations or rain, all the things that happen in the winter and all the things that happen in the late fall, weather-wise, you got to bring a running game. So hopefully we can get that fixed, and we might be able to, get something done.
Facts, man. And DA's catch on the sideline was a thing of beauty. It's a fact. Raider Knight says, SC Raider, are you worried about Dalton starting from the Panthers? Their online is top 10, but the defense dead last. We go talk about it. I'm gonna make sure I have that saved. So when we get to the Panthers preview, man, I got you right now. Of course. But I'm not worried, and you'll know why right now in a little bit once we start talking about the preview. But shout out everybody coming on in, man. Joel E, Raider Knight, everybody coming in. Salute. Good to see you guys, man. Hope all as well. Raiders exposed Humphrey and Stefan on that's the Raiders secondary to win a game. That's a fact. But you feel me? For me, my take on the offense is exactly what I knew what they were capable of. I knew with all that receiving core and stuff like that, I knew they were going to be a good passing offense. But it was only as far as what the quarterback took us. It was always based on the quarterback. How well would they play? Because at the end of the day, we know what Devontae Adams brings, right? We know what Devontae Adams brings. We know what Brock. Hey, people are starting to see all those people that said we don't need a tight end. We should have never done that. It's horrible pick, bad pick, and still saying bad pick to this day. He's showing why he's one of the best offensive rookies in the league and why he's a generational talent, catching everything, anything, everything and anything. And I'm going to repeat it one more time, everything and anything. And when you have guys like this, Jacoby Myers, you have people like Trey Tucker that hasn't even shown what he's capable of. He's on that you feel me? He's on that cusp of taking the next step. It's a great receiving core, man. And like I always said, and I'm like a how do I say it? I'm like a revolving door with this because I've been saying this since the start that Gardner Minshew doesn't have to make perfect Patrick Mahomes throws. All he needs to do is put it in the vicinity, the area of the receiver, and I swear the receivers will catch it. Look that was a bad pass from Gardner Minshew to Devontae Adams. What did Devontae Adams do? What did he do?
Got it.
Michael Jackson, you feel me? Like, come on, man. Like this is, and look at Brock Bowers. There was a throw that was high. He went up there, caught it. 6 Ravens couldn't even take him down. I wish he would have got that touchdown, by the way. But this offense showed what they're capable of. Again, a horrible running back play. At the end of the day, there's a lot of factors in that running back play, from the offensive line to the scheme at times. It doesn't make sense. But I will say one thing. With the Panthers coming up, and we'll talk about it, they've been horrible against running backs, man. And if there's a game that this running back room can finally get it together, it's that game. But I want to, you feel me? Smooth. Go ahead.
No, I want to talk about Brock Bowers because I think there's.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Brock Bowers.
There's some press clips. Gronk is talking about Brock Bowers and what he brings to the table. Uncle Shay Shay and Ocho Cinco is talking about how good Brock Bowers is, and that's great. But I don't want Raider Nation to get so hyped up about the guy. You know what I'm saying? Let him be himself. Let's not try to put comparisons on him, because I don't, to be honest with you, even with the little sample size that we saw of him, in the NFL, I don't think many tight ends are actually bringing what he's bringing to the table, you know what I'm saying, in regards to tight end play. So, let Brock Bowers be Brock Bowers. Again, he's a rookie, so there might be a moment where he makes a rookie mistake, you know what I'm saying, and that's fine, you know what I'm saying. Am I proud of what he's doing thus far? Absolutely. But let's not, don't get your hopes up way, too much on the situation, to the point where if Brock Bowers has a bad game, now we're asking for him to, cut him and trade him and all that stuff. Because that's how a lot of us in the nation have been with some of these players. Oh, cut him, get rid of him. He's trash. Give him some time, you know what I'm saying? And what thus far he's been doing well. So continue to take that uptick. And who knows, he may be the best tight end in the NFL, you know what I'm saying, when it's all said and done. So, I just wanted to put that out there, man.
he needs some consistency throughout the whole season. And so far, like you said, he's doing good, man. I always said he's a generational talent, man, and he's proving it to me. But when you have these guys, I said it again, man, sky's the limit. As long as Gardner Minshew could do just enough, we could win fucking football games. But this leads me to, how do I say this? To the segment that I like personally, because it's where Twuan speaks his mind, man. And of course, if you guys don't know the segment, man, it was brought to us last week. Well, actually, since the start of the week 1 and stuff like that, and going into now week 2, man. Now week 3, technically. So of course, I'm gonna give the floor to RaiderTwuan, man, with the segment we like to call "What You Doing Wednesdays."
Now, what you do on Wednesdays, I need you to make sure, first of all, I need you to put WYD on the player you think is like, hey, what you doing? Now, we watch games, we watch the Raider games, and if you like me, I yell at the TV. And there's certain times and certain players, I'm yelling at them and I'm saying, what are you doing? So this is your time to let me know, hey, who you yelled at, or just someone you felt, even in a win, it is worthy of the what you doing Wednesday. So in the chat, I need to see WID with your player of who you think is worthy of the what you doing Wednesday. Now, I got to tell you my Raider gospel on who I think is deserving of what you doing Wednesday, even on a win. I'm talking about the linebacker, Divine Diablo. What are you doing? Look, your name is Divine. You ain't playing Divine. And, you know, a Diablo, you ain't even playing like a Diablo. So what are you doing? I'm tired of seeing you take bad angles as a linebacker. You were a safety and you turned into a linebacker taking bad angles. What are you doing? I'm tired of you tackling and tackling going backwards. But, you know, also with that being said, I'm tired of you slipping and sliding and trying to tackle people. How many times have I seen Divine Diablo going to a tackle, slipping off of the guy because he ain't wrapping up completely and getting the job done? As a linebacker, tackling backwards is a major no-no. When you tackle, that's where they stop. That's where it ends. And you hit them going forward. I'm tired of seeing Divine Diablo. This is, especially in this situation, knowing that this is your money here. Okay, this is the opportunity where you are supposed to get paid, and you got subbed by Luke Masterson. What are you doing? And we know Luke Masterson, right? We know Luke Masterson and how disappointing he is in that situation, and you got subbed by him. What are you doing? We are supposed to be top 3, but every time you tackle and I'm watching TV, I'm praying to the Lord, Lord, please. What are you doing? You know what we trying to do. We trying to win, baby.
And like always, that's the "What You Doing Wednesdays" there, man. You already know. For me, I ain't gonna lie, I agree. I mean yeah, Diablo, you feel me? He said it all. I don't even have to add on. I have nothing to add on. He said it all. I don't know what he's doing, but let's see what everybody's saying. What you're doing is, man. Our O-line, what you doing? Tyree is on the list permanently. Andre -3,000 and Diablo. What's up, Twuan from Tony the Legendary, man? Shout out to you. My two says Andre James, what are you doing? A lot of people are saying, what are you doing to Andre James, man? The guy that Twuan has been saying since last year, what are you doing?
Hey, I've been on that boat. You know what I'm saying? He gained his name week 1, and he hasn't changed it yet. Hey, stay tuned. We got a long season.
Yep.
Andre -3,000 might be on What You Doing Wednesday.
Yep, it says Amir run into the pile. White, what you're doing, man? And this leads us to the next thing on our list, Matt, to talk about. And it's, of course, Sunday, home opener, Vegas, baby. Viva Las Vegas, home of the Raiders, Allegiant Stadium home opener. The crowd's going to be roaring for sure. And we are playing the 0-2 Carolina Panthers with a quarterback that is 4-0 against us in Andy Dalton. Now, this game, and I want to bring this up to talk about it. A talk of it, a talk of the town. You feel me? I haven't heard, actually, not talk of the town, because I haven't heard too many people talk about it. Now, this is a question for you guys, and a question I'm going to give Twuan, and then I'm going to give my insight on it. Is this a trap game? Is the Carolina Panthers a trap game?
In most cases, you think a trap game is a game going to the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? Going, an away game.
Mm-hmm.
And this one has a possibility to be a trap game.
Okay.
Our home opener has the possibilities of being a trap game. And I'll say this. The reason why I say it has the makings for it, I'm not saying that it's a complete trap game, but there's some makings there. We lost to the Chargers. We beat the Ravens, which is supposed to be, one of the top playoff teams, kind of they're already saying the Baltimore Ravens is going to go deep into the playoffs. So coming off a win like that, we could take this as this is an easy game. I ain't got to put in the effort. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to put in the work, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? That senioritis, you know what I'm saying? It could get set in with this game. We all know what the Panthers are in regards to how they are as a team, right? But again, coming off a big and huge win that we got with the Ravens, if this team is not focused, you know what I'm saying? If we sleep on the Panthers, they'll definitely put us to bed. And that's just with any football team. If you sleep on any football team, you know what I'm saying? They'll make sure to put you to bed. And that's why I believe that this has the makings of being a trap game.
And like you said, man, we gotta. I always like to say the phrase "keep your eyes on the prize," and the prize is the win. You feel me? The Carolina Panthers is a team that is pretty much going through it. If I were to put into words, and that doesn't mean that's gonna be an easy game. At the end of the day, if for a second we put our heads down, it's over. And we need to always keep our heads high and focus on the win and focus on winning. At the end of the day, every NFL team is an NFL team for a reason. They got professional football players that play at a high level, that went through the ranks, and you feel me? So they, of course, if you guys don't know, the Panthers kind of rode. They lost to the Saints 47-10, which the Saints are red hot right now, if you guys did not know that. But we don't got to get into that, right? We'll get to that when we get to that. And then the Chargers, of course, beat them 26-3 last week. Pretty much the running backs, man. Kamara, J.K. Dobbins was putting up a clinic. Gus Edwards. A lot of running backs were doing really good against the Carolina Panthers defense. And not only that, the Carolina Panthers defense is one of the worst in the NFL. Now, this goes back to this question right here, right, that I made sure to keep in the back burner right here from Raider Night. First of all, I'm not worried about Dalton. He is 4-0, though. And I will say I'm not worried. I'm concerned, because at the end of the day, we make mediocre quarterbacks look like they're Tom Brady. And it's been constant. Last year, for example, against the Chicago Bears, Bagley, come on. We made him look like we made all these people look like superstars. So for me, we shouldn't take Dalton lightly at all. That's what I will say. I'm going to say that I'm not worried, but you feel me? Now, the O-line, right? Their O-line is pretty damn good. If you guys didn't know, their O-line is actually pretty damn good. But their quarterback play is not the best, and their running back play is okay. With Chuba Hubbard, Miles Sanders, and then obviously Bryce Young, which is going to be most likely Andy Dalton, it looks like. All different things. that take into effect. So for me personally, um, it just don't take it lightly, man. If I were to say one thing, don't take it lightly, and I think that's gonna be one of my keys later on down the week. Do not take it lightly. You take it lightly, it's not gonna be a good thing, man. And we cannot drop these type of games. And I'm gonna continue to say it. Teams against like Carolina Panthers, we cannot drop we cannot drop wins, bro. We can't afford that, especially with the AFC that's going to be so competitive towards the end of the season. Every win matters. And it starts off with beating the teams that you're better at. We're better than the Chargers, and we lost. We are kind of like, some may say, even or just below the Ravens, and they lost. Now we're way better than the Carolina Panthers, but that doesn't mean it's a guaranteed win. So
to be honest with you, I think we're in a more dangerous situation with Andy Dalton. I think with that team, their issue really was the quarterback play. Bryce Young, for whatever reason, can really be faulted for a lot of their not a lot, but for their losses. And by them making the change to Andy Dalton, what Andy Dalton brings to the table. He's going to deliver the ball. You know what I'm saying? He's not as mobile as Bryce Young. You know what I'm saying? And that might be a benefit for us, Max Crosby and the D line. But, I don't think, and I don't have the stats, on me, but I don't think our record, you know what I'm saying, against Andy Dalton looks pretty either. So it that's why I'm saying, even when, talking about the trap game, like if we sleep, they'll put us to bed, and Andy Dalton will get it done. You know what I'm saying? Andy, yeah, he was a backup, can that be politics because Bryce Young was picked so high? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But, Dalton is still a legit quarterback in this league. So, like I said, don't sleep on it, because if we ain't got our boots strapped, we might mess around and have a pillow and a blanket at the end of the game.
Facts, man. Shout out to everybody coming on in. My test says my show to show out or any given Sunday applies. Twuan SC chat, what's good, gang? Everyone, chat. Sorry, I'm on the drive. It's all good. I appreciate you for coming on in, Avakazi. Joy said, no, I think we turned the page on losing games and supposed to win as soon as AP was hired. Hey, I feel that, man. I feel that. Shout out to Joel E. Shout out to Joy, man. Shout out to everybody coming on in, man. Hopefully, I didn't skip anybody. I know a couple people came in. I just want to make sure I get to everybody. But of course, make sure to hit that like button. I'll greatly appreciate it. And subscribe if you're new. You feel me? Hopefully you guys like the content, man. But of course, the Panthers, man, don't take them lightly. I want to talk a little bit about their defense in specific. Their defense consists of players like Jadeveon Clowney, Jordan Fuller. Maybe you guys don't know who that is. JC Horn. They still have JC Horn over there.
Yeah.
Shaq Thompson, Xavier Woods, and Deontay Johnson, Michael Jackson. There's a bunch of them out there that are notable names that, if you feel me, if you're a really huge fan of the NFL in general, because I know some people are just fans of Raiders and they just like watching Raider games and Raider games only. And then there's other ones that, like me, I like to watch football in general, but I'm a Raiders all day, man. But I will say that they got a couple players there that were good in a significant amount of time. Now, they're not the best of defenses in this year. They allowed a lot of rushing yards to opposing teams, like the Chargers, for instance. Even though J.K. Dobbins has been good, they allowed 131 yards and a touchdown from J.K. Dobbins alone. J.K. Dobbins, and that's not including Gus Edwards, 59 yards. Justin Herbert's 18 and Hassan Haskins 11. And then you go on to the Saints game where they played the Red Hot Saints, obviously, with their new offensive coordinator over there, and they lost 47-10. And there they allowed, which Kamara's doing a heck of a job. He just had a Kamara game last week. But of course, 83 yards for him. Jamal Williams, 38. Their whole running back room had over 180 yards, and they let Derek Carr run for 13 yards. So, I mean, just 2 carries. So that kind of shows you how bad they are against the run. Now, their pretty much secondary is something that we need to take advantage. And now I want to get into previewing the game in general, right? Straight into the actual offenses and stuff like that. This is the game where if the Raiders want to continue this offensive improvement and this offensive consistency from the fourth quarter, this is the game to do it. Take advantage of this secondary. And like Twuan said earlier, you kind of go towards the pass play is going to open up the run game. It's usually the run game opens up the pass play. But for us, it looks like the pass play is going to open up the run game. So that means take advantage in the Carolina Panthers team. If you want to make a statement for reals you already made a statement with the Ravens. If you want to make even a further statement, you will go out there with your heads held high, coming on, firing on all cylinders, no holds barred, no mercy, and you beat the shit out of the Panthers, man. That's how you make a statement, because you're way better than the Panthers. If we win by 3 points, me personally, I'm not going to be happy. I don't know about you guys. I know that just win, baby, obviously. Commitment to excellence. It's all about the win. And I will be happy in that aspect. I'm not going to be a doubter. But I will say that if it's by 3 points, I'm going to take that win with a grain of salt and say the reality of it. Because we're way better than the goddamn Panthers, man. Way better. Shout out to Detroit God in the building. What's good, Detroit?
Yeah, you read that one?
Yeah. I read it.
Oh,
That'll caught me off guard.
Hey,
Andy Dalton doesn't have a surrounding cast like he has in the past. We're gonna stomp him. Let me know, Twuan. Yep.
Hey, Detroit. I'll say it like this: it sounds like Diablo has been hanging out over there because he's slipping and sliding off of tackles.
Just get the running game going before we can stop or kill teams, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it shouldn't be a 3-point game. It shouldn't be a 1-possession game against the Panthers, man. Even without a run game, we're better than them. 100%. Our defense is way better than theirs, and our offense should be better than theirs. I mean, I don't know what there's nobody on the Panthers team that I look at and I'm like, oh shit. The only person is probably Andy Dalton because of the 4-0 against us, but
you know what I saw from the game? You know, J.C. Horn was active, but he also was a guy that can get burnt. And, you know, that's what you're going to get from him. We can't completely stay away from the run game. And I think, be honest with you, starting out the game, let's try it out. Let's see, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if we can, you know, get some action there, you know, and that might, like you said, it might spark up this offensive line and this running game if they have a situation where a team is giving up the run like that. You know, the Saints have a good offensive line. You know, the who was the last team they played? The Chargers?
Yeah, they played the Chargers and then the Saints before that.
Yeah, because I watched that game. The Chargers, you know, they have a good offensive line. You know, that's right now we ain't looking that good, but you know, don't stay away from it. You got to test it out. You know what I'm saying? Test it out and see what works. I think that's what happened to us last week is, hey, you know, we want to run the ball, but let's check out this passing game. And when the passing game started cooking, then, you know, then they stayed there for a minute and then they went back to the run to see, hey, you know, could it open up something? And it, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, we went for a big run, but it was some solid runs, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we got to do that. And I think we have the coaching staff that will do that. You know what I'm saying? They will, okay, it ain't working here. Let's try this out. Yeah. You know, we're seeing that even with some of our players. If they ain't, you know, if they ain't cracking it up like Divine Diablo and Whitehair, next person. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, just to let you guys know, you feel me, a little bit of a breakdown of the Panthers and Raiders game. Of course, the Panthers offense, and look at this, right? I'm about to give you guys some, you feel me, for everybody that's a stat person, right? Here you go. The Panthers offense ranks. What do you think? What do you think? Throw out a number. What do you think they're ranked? What do you think the Panthers offense is ranked, bro?
I'm gonna be generous.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. Probably 30.
Okay. That's a good guess. 32. They're the dead last in offense. All around. Yards per game. They're 31st in passing. They're 29th in rushing. And they're 32nd in points with 6.5 points per game. They average 102 yards per game in passing and 176 total offensive yards in 2 games. Their defense, what do you think their defense is ranked?
Their defense?
Yeah.
30.
Good guess. They are actually 25th in total defense with 364 yards per game allowed, 9th in passing allowed. They allow 164.5 yards, 31st in rushing. So they're one of the dead last in rushing. And they're 32nd in points allowed with 36.5 points per game. And that's because of the Saints game where they got absolutely cooked.
Yeah.
I mean, cooked. And then, of course, the Chargers beat them 23-6. So take it with a grain of salt. That's just some stats for everybody out there. That's a stats guide that likes to see it kind of by the numbers. It kind of shows you a glimpse of what they're ranked through 2 weeks. As far as the Raiders, we rank 23rd in total offense. We rank 23rd in total offense. And our defense is kind of weird, actually. And I think it's a tale of 2 tapes, in my opinion. The defense rate, the Raiders ranked 23rd in total defense.
How did I know that?
And it isn't that surprising.
I was like, watch it be like 23rd or something.
It's 23rd. It is 23rd. They are ranked 15th in passing, so the 15th best team in passing, the 29th team in rushing, and they're tied for 19th in points allowed with 22.5 points per game.
You know what it is? I think the run in the Chargers game,
yeah,
you know, that kind of made us slide. I don't think we're giving up. I don't know about the passing yard situation. But yeah, definitely the run, like that Chargers game. And that's why it's tough, because same thing with the Panthers, right? When you get blown out like what the Saints did to them, it's kind of in terms of rankings, it's hard to get back from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It really is hard to get back from that. You have to really scratch and claw to climb yourself out of a situation like that, you know, so we'll see.
Facts. And shout out to everybody. Boo, SC, boo. Shout out to Circus, man. Our fellow troll in the building. Was good, Circus. Let me get to some of these comments real quick. Brock Myers, we're going to be all right. I like Madison since we signed him. I'm not saying he's going to be the answer, but he needs some carries too. Madison McCall just shows. Let's see. Telesco built that O-line for the Chargers. That gives me a little hope for our O-line. I do agree, though. There's no way that we should lose to Andy Dalton. How old is Andy Dalton? I just turned 50 September 3rd. He can't be too far behind me. I don't know how old he is. I could probably check right now, actually, pretty quickly. He is 36. He's 36 years old. He is 36 years old. So a 36-year-old quarterback. 36. Defense got to be last. Carr cooked them. Yeah, Carr did cook them. I personally think that Max Crosby is going to have at least 4 sacks. Okay. Hey, speak them facts, man. We'll get to the bold predictions right now. Not to mention they only have 1.5 sacks. LMFL JPJ back the running game going to improve. Yeah, if you guys didn't catch AP's presser, he talked about Jackson Powers. He said that, hey, did you see him at the sideline turned up and stuff like that? And the reporter said, yeah, we seen him. And then he goes on to say that he hopes that he sees JPG on that day, which I think he's going to play, man. I think he is. I think as a rotational guy, though. Rotational for sure.
And I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, as much as everybody wants to rush JPJ out there, he has to remember, this is his first game. You know what I'm saying? When bullets really are flying, and you don't want someone that just came off an injury or illness or whatever the situation is to go out there and not fully know what he's getting into or what he's doing. Yes, he looked good in college, but it's a whole different game in the NFL. So if he's a backup for a week, you know what I'm saying, or so, you know, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, if they bring him out there, you know, they might give him a series or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, lead them in. Don't just say, hey, you the starter, good, sink or swim. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna help his situation. So yeah.
Facts. Shout out to Snoops Hernandez in the building. Shout out to everybody coming on, man. If you guys can, hit that like button, please, man. Hit that like button. I'll greatly appreciate y'all. The Moose Bus lose finally. If not, I'm over it. Shout out to everybody coming on in, man. Like I said, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you guys like the content, stuff like that. JPJ back or that. Yup. Shout out to everybody coming on in. Madison, I trust. And you know, let's talk about some keys. You know, we don't even got to say our true keys to the game because obviously we're gonna have shows coming up that we give the true keys to the game. Just give me like one key to the game that you want to say about the Raiders and Panthers. What do the Raiders need to do to win the game?
There's a lot that are running through my head right now. I would like to get our tight ends involved.
Okay.
A little more. In whatever aspect, whether it's, you know, some deep passes down the field or, you know, having them do something in the backfield. I was going to ask you about Madison, but
go ahead. Yeah.
What so far, what do you think about Madison? Because he is getting touches. You know, some people are like, he's not getting touches. Like, he is getting some action. Like, who's been getting the touchdowns in our running back room? You know what I'm saying? Is Madison. So obviously they're using him. But what do you think about Madison?
I think Madison was I like that signing. I mean, he's not a number one back. You know, he's never been. He was the number 2 back, and then obviously when Ty Chandler went down and stuff like that, he obviously stepped up to the plate for the Vikings. But I do think that Madison should be allowed a little bit more carries against the Panthers game. I think this is a game where you need all your running backs to show out. And, you know, in my opinion, these last 2 games, you know, it sucks to say because it's like there's a lot of factors going into Zamir White's runs, everywhere from the O-line getting pushed back to not being too many good play calls. At the end of the day, there's been calls where I believe that Zamir White could have done more. He doesn't have the juking ability, the ability to pretty much break tackles, and that's the only thing that's he gets a little stiff there. So for me personally, not discrediting Zamir because I think that Zamir could be a good running back eventually as long as he cleans those things up. But I think this Panthers game, especially with them being so bad against running backs, I think this is the game where you either split the carries completely in half or you give Madison a little bit more and maybe McAllister or I think Dylan Lawby, man. I think it's time to see a little bit of what he got. But for me personally, I think Madison should get a little bit more burn this Panthers game just to see what level of play we got from the running backs. If it's really a Zamir White thing or if it's an O-line thing, I think this is the game to do it. And I don't like testing things out in regular season, but this Panthers game, man, they're one of the worst in running, man. And this is the game to take advantage to see what type of running backs you truly got behind Zamir White.
Well, it's a situation where, you know, and I don't like testing things out too.
Yeah.
But in reality, because it's not working, you know what I'm saying? You know, our running game just in total, whether it's our offensive line or it's the running backs, we need to figure out what works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the only way that you're going to figure out what works, you know what I'm saying, is to put it out there.
Yeah.
You know, and I like what they both bring to the table. Zeus is more of a guy, you know, he's one step and go, you know what I'm saying? He's not that shifty, you know, type of guy. Madison brings a different flavor in that running game. And that's why, you know, when we were talking about the running backs just as a room, there's whole different flavors there, you know what I'm saying, in regards to what they bring to the table running back wise. So, I would like to see some, and like you said, this is an opportunity to test it out and see what combinations work, so that when we do get into some situations where we really, really need the running game, we can go to our bread and butter situations. You know what I'm saying? Even with personnel.
Yep. And shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Chad Schrader. What up, Eric and Twuan? Shout out to Chad coming in, man. Snoop says O-line and running game needs to show up. That's a fact. Don't leave out Zamir running into his lineman's ass crack. O-line can redeem themselves with a good showing Sunday. And that's a fact. Gates closed, open a new one. Can't better be able to bounce outside and get to the corner. And that's what I'm saying. I think that, at the end of the day, don't completely take away Zamir White. But hey, give some carries to the rest of the backs, man. See what we got. Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be a running back by committee, man. And we were originally. So it's not like I'm trying to go away from Zamir White. It's more of, hey, let's go back to the original plan. Let's see what everybody got. Let's see what they're capable of. And hey, maybe one of these running backs will just come out of the blue moon and holy snap. You never know, man. All it takes is the next man up, man. And you see it constantly in every single NFL team. There's always a guy that ends up stepping up for a certain amount of team, and everybody's like, oh, damn. I remember the Giants last year. What was the talk of the town? Tommy DeVito, the Italian, the Italian stallion over there putting up points. You had people like Bagley out there performing. You had people like this year in Sam Darnold, which, by the way, I'm just saying that might be the Baker Mayfield of last year. I'm not gonna lie. This year, I ain't gonna lie. That might be the Baker this year. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, go represent USC, boy. Go shut everybody up. I'm not gonna care. He out there slinging it. So, besides that, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of guys out there that do step up to the plate, and maybe Madison or Lobby could be one, or maybe it's just the whole strictly just O-line thing, and it's just a problem. AP said he's giving Zamir 20 carries. He did say that, though. That is actually true. I've seen that. I don't know if you've seen that, Twuan. He said in the presser that he's a guy that needs 20 carries and that they're gonna give him 20 carries. So,
hey, I'm with it.
Kind of see.
You know what I'm saying? I'm with it until, we're in a situation where we losing the game because we're trying to give him, 20, but that should be the goal anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you're really trying to run the ball, you got to give these, we talked about it with Josh Jacobs when he was here. He needs to get his 20, you know what I'm saying? And that's just it with your primary running back. You know what I'm saying? We like to say running back by committee, but you can kind of tell that Zeus is kind of the primary guy. You want to give him some touches, and especially and I've noticed that with Zeus too, like when he does get that amount of touches, he ends up getting a good one, you know what I'm saying? So there's just certain running backs where you can't just give them 3 runs and okay, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to give them a little more, and then they really produce. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Henry was like that for the longest. In the beginning of the game, he's, you know what I'm saying, he doesn't look too well. But when that fourth quarter happens, after he's got about, almost 20 touches, that's when he really gets, you know what I'm saying, gets the action. So I'm with it. As long as that fits whatever the game plan is. Obviously, if he's saying that he wants to give Zeus 20 touches, he's already saying that I know the Panthers aren't good at, stopping the run. So we just going to give him Zeus. And, if he needs to drink some Gatorade, then Madison come in there and get busy. So I'm with it.
Facts, man. Shout out to everybody coming on in, man. Jonathan Taylor would be cold if he played for us. SC, your wide receiver, Michael Pittman, selling me fantasy. That's why I did not choose him. I'm not gonna lie. I knew that, not to get away from the Raiders, but man, oh man.
This is with the Colts, right?
Yeah. Anthony Richardson, man, had a heck of the first game. Alex Pierce had most of the targets. And then in that second game, bro, a bunch of check down shits, bro. I mean, he's not even averaging 50% completion. That should show you what type of quarterback they got. And Gardner outplayed Anthony Richardson.
Oh, you talking about the same? You talking about the same quarterback? A lot of people were like, "Go get."
Yeah, from Florida. Florida. Yeah.
I was just making sure.
I'm old enough to remember where there was a time where the Raiders would run the ball down your throat. Pause. But yes, Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen. I mean, we could even go back to great running backs throughout the years, man. Even in recent times, Darren McFadden had a pretty damn career, pretty good damn
Hey,
career.
and it was in
Yeah.
situations where everybody knew they were going to run the ball and they still couldn't stop it. Closer memories, I was thinking about, when we had Donald Penn and
Mhm.
and Rodney Hudson, and that everybody knew was going to run the ball, and we still was getting yards. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to that's the business that we need to be about. The offensive line probably need to go look at some of that tape and see what they was doing back there, because again, like I said, everybody in the stadium, all the players knew we were going to run the ball, and they still couldn't stop it.
Facts, man. Charlie Gardner, Latavius Murray. I see someone said their time with Wheatley. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. I mean, the list goes on and on. Even oh my god, he's slipping my mind. I think I forgot his name.
Justin Fargas.
No. Something it slipped my name. I forgot. But those are a couple of running backs that obviously had a great career for us, man. And a lot of it had to do with great offensive line play as well, man. Great offensive line play, man. Twuan named a couple of them that were great offensive linemen out there. Um, 20 touches for 3 yards and the crowd going mild. We even made to it's been poetic circus for sure. Shout out to everybody coming on in, man. Like I said, if you guys can't hit that like button. But for me, man, obviously this Panthers game, man, this is the game to get the offense continue to roll down. We got some let me see. Actually, let me while I get this, I'm trying to get something else I wanted to talk about real quick. Oh, here we go. Let me try to share my screen for you guys. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Give me a second. Trying to get it to work.
Who did they got over there at wide receiver?
I could check for you right
Is
now.
it Thielen?
Thielen's one of them. I know Thielen's one of them. Thielen's one of them for sure. Let me see. Because they did lose like Chark. They lost a couple others in their wide receiver room. Oh, Deontay Johnson, David Moore, Adam Thielen, and then Jonathan Mingo and Xavier Leggett. My bad.
Yeah.
The guy that came out of the same place as Brian Edwards in South
Yeah.
Carolina. So yeah. So that's a couple right there. But I wanted to share this. I know this is off. This is not even off topic. It's not even off topic. It's I can't even pop it up. But congratulations to Max Crosby, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Defensive Player of the Week. My bad. And shout out to Max Crosby for winning that award. I don't know if you guys seen it, but he won AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Hey, whatever that tells you, man, he had a heck of a game against the Ravens and stuff like that. But for me, entering this game, the defensive line, I'm gonna give you guys a clear, straightforward answer. Something not too much. Defensive line is the key to the game. Get to Andy Dalton, make them throw picks, and stomp on their necks. There you go. There's mine. There's mine. And shout out to Get Up Boys Raider, everybody in, man. Hit that like button, I appreciate everybody coming on in. But what you got, man? Like,
Man,
any final thoughts on it and stuff like that?
Man, I didn't put this in what you do on Wednesday, but I'm just gonna say it. Stick to your assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't be trying to play hero. If you were supposed to contain and you know what I'm saying, or whatever, or you got a gap that you're supposed to fill, then do your job. You know what I'm saying? Like Diablo, dude. Like one of the biggest runs that they had from Derrick Henry was because this fool decided to, you know what I'm saying, hit the wrong, you know what I'm saying? He was supposed to help contain, and he trying to run on the inside. Like, just stick to your assignment, and that's everybody.
Facts. Shout out to Lunatic in the building. What's good, Lunatic? Good to see you, man. Shout out to everybody coming on in. I heard Tyree Wilson back at practice. I'm actually not sure. I'll actually let me see if the injury report. Give me a second. Is out because I haven't seen anything. Let me get it out. Let me see. Let me see. Oops.
To be honest with you, man, I really haven't even paid attention, and I'm gonna go back and watch the game again because I really wasn't paying attention to who was on the opposite side of Max Crosby. That's how well our D line was
Yeah.
was getting busy. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, you know what I'm saying, if in that situation, whoever was on that other side, they was doing their job because it was working well.
Here's a couple just to get you guys, man. Tommy Eichenberg is still recovering from a knee injury, was limited on Wednesday, which is today. Colton Miller was also limited with a shoulder injury, which I don't know, man. I don't know about keeping Colton Miller there, man. With the fact that he was limited and he's still trying to heal, I don't know. And the way he's been playing, I don't know about y'all, man. Maybe it's time to bench him this week. I think
it ain't his shoulder; his feet need to heal.
And then DeCamerion Richardson, our rookie there, DeCamerion Richardson, of course, did not participate on Wednesday either, healing from a hamstring. I think he's been most likely out. Tyree Wilson, like you guys said, he is back, suffered knee injury in week 1, was limited on Wednesday. Christian Wilkins also dealing with the knee injury, limited. Dylan Parham with a foot injury was a full participant though, so that's a good thing. Good thing in occasion. Second year quarterback Chris Smith II was limited with his knee injury. Then with the Panthers, their defensive tackle there, Ashawn Robinson, Shy Turtle, they did not participate today. Jadeveon Clowney, they are the NIR personal reasons did not participate Wednesday. Their offensive tackle Robert Hunt, their shoulder, Damian Lewis groin, and their tight end Tommy Treble, hamstring back were all limited. So there's a couple things for you guys right there, man, to kind of look at. And yeah, there's your injury report, man. Anything you want to say about this? Yeah,
I think they should hold out Tyree.
Okay.
Like don't force him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's questionable. Oh, let's go ahead and, you know, like I'm cool having him sit this week. Cause like, you know, not trying to get too far ahead, but we got situations where we could get on a run. You know what I'm saying? Based off of how these teams have been playing as of late. But, you know, whoever's on that opposite side, I'd rather have them at this point because they're healthy and they can fully get the job done.
That's a fact. These guys want the bench best player on the O line. Let me see. Hold on. Give me a second. Bench the player on the O line. You guys get what you're doing. Cool, Kev. What has he done this year? Let me explain something. Let me get into some debate with people because I know people are gonna hate this. What has he done this year, and what has he been recovering from? And you tell me he's the best offensive lineman. I'm just saying, bro. You talk about benching these other guys. You've been the main one, Cook, is saying to let other people rest. But why not Colton Miller when he's suffering an injury himself? And he's allowing the most pressures and sacks consistently. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there, man. It's proven. It's not like I'm talking shit. I know that Colton Miller's our best offensive lineman when healthy. But is he healthy?
No.
And
his play is showing it. Like I've never seen like every once in a while even in years past, Colton Miller might get blown back, one play, you know what I'm saying? Out of the whole game, he might get blown back one play. But like this whole every single snap, it looked like he was getting every time Minshew was trying to throw the ball, he was getting bumped by Colton Miller's back.
He said our best lineman is clearly Andre James. Literally just needs to practice on timing in the first step. Mumford gave up a sack too. Yeah, I do agree there. I do agree there.
The drugs.
But he's allowed less. But I'm saying Kolton Miller is injured. If the case is that he's our best offensive lineman, that we need him out there, then why isn't JPJ starting? If he could be our best guard of the offensive line. I'm just saying. If we're going to use the fact that we're going to let other people rest, why can't we rest Kolton Miller if he's suffering these injuries? And not only that, today came out that he was limited on practice today because of his shoulder injury still. Just saying.
We'll see what Friday practice goes, because I think that they have one more day of practice.
Thursday and then Friday, and then I think they.
Oh yeah,
I think it's Thursday, Friday, and then that's it. The final report is Friday. But obviously this is a game that they don't have a really good defense, so I don't really care if he starts again. I'm just saying that I hope it doesn't bite us in the ass eventually, man. I really hope. I really hope it doesn't. I just really hope it doesn't. But of course. And no, I'm not putting Pete there. Fuck that. I seen something about Pete. I ain't gonna lie. I was a Pete fan in the beginning, and then in time and throughout the offseason, yeah, hell no. I wanted him cut, honestly. If you guys went back to my 53 man, I was the one I got cut, but
he's better at guard than tackle.
He kind of looks like it, man.
And he's like not really even playing that best at guard, to be honest. But
yeah, he hasn't. And I said get him cut on 53. But obviously, we'll see what happens. Obviously, besides that, I just think that hopefully everything goes good for this team. Hopefully they don't put their head down pretty much. But we'll see what happens. But anything you want to say before we film me?
Yeah, I think this game is more, this is going to be more mental than physical. Because again, coming off of a win, you got to turn the page. We're on a new week, and you can't take the opponent lightly. If they take care of what they need to take care of, I think we'll be fine.
Facts. Who would you replace with Miller, Thayer Munford? There's your answer. He played majority of his college in left tackle, and his prestigious best play was from the left tackle position.
And bring on the glaze.
There you go. There's your answer. And if you think Thayer Munford is not better than Peter White here, I don't know what to tell you. So there you go. There's your answer. Feel the glaze. Feel the glaze. Feel the glaze. Nah, real shit. But that's a fact. I agree with you there, Sal. I do agree with you there. I ain't gonna lie. Pete and White here. Yeah, they ain't it. DJ Sweet Suski. Man, Glaze ain't ready, man.
Hey, they ain't ready for the glaze.
They ain't ready for the glaze, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just saying that injuries, man. I'm just saying might as well have Tyree Wilson and all those guys out there if we're basing it on injuries. I'm just saying.
I'll just have everybody injured.
Yeah, just everybody that's injured go play. I'm just saying for the sake of his health. I'm just saying. I'm being smart, but who gives a fuck what I gotta say, right? Who gives a fuck? It's not like I haven't been right. You feel me for a lot of things this year. But, besides the record prediction that I threw away like weeks ago, but it's fine. It's fine. But I ain't scared of the Panthers at the end of the day. I don't really give a shit who starts on the O-line. They just need to get it together because I'm tired of seeing Gardner Minshew getting sacked 30 feet down the thing before he snaps back. I'm tired of seeing times our running backs can't do nothing. I'm tired of all this stuff. But, the O-line got to get it together. What happened?
What the heck was that play that Gardner Minshew hiked the ball? He was under center. He went back like 10 yards.
Yeah.
To jump it off, and Amir Abdullah had to save him to get back to the line of scrimmage. That play, I don't know if that was play call. I hope it wasn't play call, but like that no. Like I understand you throw it past, you know, a little past the line of scrimmage, you know what I'm saying, for a screen, but like that was like 7 yards that Amir Abdullah had to fight through to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Facts.
I don't know. I don't know what that one was, but they need to revisit that. I ain't saying that the play ain't, we need to scrap it, but we need to revisit that because that ain't helping nobody.
If Mitchell keeps getting sacked, he make it through the season. Yeah, facts, man. We'll see. We'll see what happened, man. We'll see what's gonna go on. But I will say that this is a game where we need to make a statement again and be consistent about it. Besides that, hey, let them know where they can find you, Twuan. Let them know where they can find you. Up, hey, videos, lives coming up and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I am getting ready to release the game plan. I'm leaning more releasing it on Friday. It will be a live where I talk about, you know, my ideas and thoughts about the game on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, the Raiders and the opposition. So look out for that on either Friday or Saturday. You know, shout out to my mods. They are now called the Deacons. They named themselves, which I love, and you know, we're gonna keep it moving. So thanks to my mods. Hey, you guys, hey, I know that you guys, some of you guys are on Eric's channel. Definitely hit the like button, you know what I'm saying, over there. But if you can do me a favor, come on over to RaiderTwuan and hit the like button. Okay, so if you can do that for me, I know you ain't gonna watch the show again, but definitely come on over to RaiderTwuan and hit the like button. That would definitely help me out. And if you have not subscribed, quit playing with yourself. Quit playing with the glaze and subscribe.
Facts, man. I am your lawyer. Is my name Ed Diablo? Shout out to everybody, man, coming on in. Hit that like button, like I said. If you guys don't know who I am, I see Raiders Talk, aka boy Eric, man, and I'm here, pretty much doing a show, multiple shows a week, pretty much 2 to 3 a week. Besides that, hopefully I could drop some YouTube shorts for you guys, some press conferences that you guys don't watch. I could do a little my own twist to it, coming soon. And of course, like I said, collab starting next week. So stay tuned for that. Follow the Instagram. That's where you'll get a lot of the updates. I haven't really been that active on the cord. I don't know how to make it active again, but of course, just go follow the Instagram. That's the best way to reach me and stuff like that. But besides that, of course, for me, I'll most likely see you guys Saturday. Saturdays is always up in the air for me because it's a weekend and usually a lot of stuff happens in the morning for me. So some days you won't see me go live on Saturdays. Some days, yeah. But I'm hoping this Saturday I can. Of course, hit that. Go on the Instagram. You'll see the updates there. But yeah, please. And I sound like a broken record, but hit that like button for the both of us. Subscribe if you're new. If you didn't see somebody's comments, probably because they're on the other channel, man. Both links are down in the description down below. We do pretty much Raider content, not pretty much we do a lot of Raider content each week. And hopefully you guys like this one, the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man, where we recap the last game, preview the next game, and everything in between. Hopefully we get the dub on Sunday, man. We'll see you guys next week to recap this game and then preview the next game, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, might be the Browns. Yeah, the Browns. Another home game, by the way, back-to-back home games. So yeah, and USC versus Michigan this weekend. So shout out to USC. Fight on, man. Shock the world. Everybody's expecting us to lose to Michigan, and we're going to see, man. But on that note, Miller Moss all the way there. And let's get that dub with the Raiders, man. Gardner Minshew mania, and Max Crosby and defense and company, man. Shout out to them. And yeah, on that note, y'all, shout out to Dirty Eric in the building. Shout out to everybody, man. And like always, we can never hear enough of this. Okay, one more time. On that note, y'all, SC Raiders Talk, RaiderTwuan, man. We'll catch you later, man. Life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them, man. And blessings to you guys and your families. And tell their lives, but tell people doing you guys also tough people, man. On that note, y'all, we out. Peace.
Commitment to excellence. There's a commitment to excellence. The greatest players could get the greatest coaches.